my driving question for this project is, how many galaxies are there? Here are some of the problems to this broad question. 1. The task to count is hard to approach since it seems impossible and intimidating. 2. The count, once it gets into the billions, it takes a while to addition. 3. The limitation of instruments. Ideally, I would think all of you guys would at least have an idea of what a galaxy is, but for the heck of it, let's review. A galaxy is a huge collection of gas, dust, and billions of stars in their solar systems. A galaxy is held together by gravity. Our galaxy, the Milky Way, also has a supermassive black hole in the middle. When you look up at the stars in the sky, you are seeing other stars in the Milky Way stretched across the sky. Therefore, what kind of instruments does NASA or scientists use to even see galaxies? Telescopes. These types of telescopes has to have large aperture and has to be located above the atmosphere to avoid distortion from the Earth's air. How do they decipher the outcome of this process? So now we know about some of the equipment, but what about the pictures we see of galaxies? Some of the pictures were taken by a DSLR camera. One of the galaxies in particular that was captured was Andromeda, but that's only one of the ways. The data retrieved took over 10 years of pictures. The telescope watched a small patch of sky and repeat for a total of 50 days, according to NASA. Whatever instruments use, the method of estimating the number of galaxies is the same. You take a portion of the sky imaged by the telescope, then using the ratio of the silver of the sky to the entire universe, you can only determine the number of galaxies in the universe. But that was only a small percentage of how many galaxies are out there. Here's a fun fact. Did you know that over 90% of galaxies in the universe has yet to be discovered? Closing question. Would the number of galaxies change over time? Measurements of the universe expansion through watching galaxies race away from us show that it is about 13.82 billion years old. As the universe gets older and bigger, however, galaxies will grow farther and farther away from Earth. This will make them more difficult to see in the future. Galaxies can also change over time. The Milky Way is on a collision course with nearby Andromeda galaxy. But don't worry, it won't happen for about another 15 billion years. But even if it does happen tomorrow, you may not even notice. Galaxies are so big and spread out at the ends that even though galaxies bump into each other, the planets in solar systems often don't get close to colliding. Conclusion. In conclusion, after many years, galaxies will change and separate, but we can only limit ourselves with such a broad question to answer. We only have part of an answer, and yet the other part of the answer to our question has yet to be answered. We may not know how many galaxies are there exactly, but with our technology expanding and developing, this question is uncertain to be answered in our lifetime.